I am very pleased to introduce our next performer, who you all know. Her name is Rawya El Chab. She's an experimental theater maker, a storyteller, and a teaching artist. The piece that she'll present is called Kamar and Badr El Budur, and it's one of the 14 stories that Hannah Diab told to Antoine Galad in Paris. Unfortunately, Galad, the translator of 1001 Nights book, chose not to include it in the 1001 Nights. We have just the notes he took while listening to Diab telling the story. So, warm welcome for Rawya.
Thank you. As I will be telling the story, I will ask some of you if you would like to embody certain statues. What's a statue? It's usually something that doesn't move and doesn't make sounds. So, for instance, if some of you would like to make the statues of a king, how does a king look like? Can someone show us? Or more than one person show us?
Stand up.
Come on, come on, come on.
Stand up, do it. Get up. Do it.
Oh, there you go. Thank you.
I come up.
You can do it from there, yeah. So this is a king. Thank you very much.
All right.
We'll be embodying these, but I will ask you to try to embody them because it's a big tell about how we see things around us, but also about the dynamics that happen in society. So once upon a time, in what today is called Pakistan, there was two kingdoms ruled by two kings, both of them very good friends. These two kings one of them had a boy and the other one had a girl. Can someone show us the statue of a boy and someone show us the statue of a girl?
You're the youngest one.
So, thank you very much. This is exactly what my students would have done. And they decided to educate them in the same way. They taught them everything they needed to know. Like they taught them archery and cooking. They taught them jurisprudence and crochet. They taught them to sciences. They taught them geography. They taught them languages and music and art and everything they could learn. And games and anything you can imagine. And one day they met. They fell in love and they got married. And soon, just like everything in life, the older kings died. And the young prince and princess became the king and queen. Everything was going well. One could say happily ever after. Until the queen started to notice that the king was bored. How might someone look when they're bored? So the queen went and inquired, what's wrong? You're not showing up to court? What's happening? He's bored. So she proposed that he might go on an adventure. Maybe start a business or something. He remembered something. He heard that in the city of Isfahan, there was a famous grandmaster chess player. Her name was Murjana. Murjana was undefeated. The king of Isfahan puts Murjana at the door of the city, and any merchant who has to enter the city will have to play against Murjana. If they win, the king promises to buy their merchandise for 3 times the price. Young King Kamar wanted to go and try his luck at defeating Murjana. He embarked found some merchandise in his kingdom, embarked, went to Isfahan, made it to the doors, to the gates of Isfahan, and heard the other side of this rumor. So if you win, the king would buy your merchandise for 3 times the price, but if you lose, you'd have to spend the rest of your life in jail. And there he was, sitting in front of Murjana. How does a grandmaster look like? He played against this grandmaster, and well, he lost. He found himself in jail. And he's a king. He's not used to being in jail. So he cried. He cried. And he cried. And he had asked his lovely wife, whose name was Badr al-Budur, I forgot to tell you, Badr al-Budur, to draw a portrait for him. So he got that portrait out and looked at the portrait, and he cried even more. He cried so much that the other prisoners couldn't take it anymore. And they're like, man, get it together. Man, get it together. He wouldn't stop. So the guard came and entered the cell, found the portrait, snatched the portrait, and it's like, it will serve you well for bothering me. And the guard looked at the portrait and thought that it seems to be something of value. So the guard ran to the king of Isfahan to show him the portraits. Can someone show us a guard and someone show us a king? How can a guard show something to a king? Come on, come on, come on. Yes. Oh. This is a guard and this is a king. Thank you.
Wait. One more time. Oh, lovely. Thank you.
And the king saw the picture and completely fell in love. And he told the guard, you gotta go find this person. And so the guard disguised himself, went into the jail cell, kind of questioned young King Qamar. And soon enough, Qamar had said everything there is to say. And the guard went to Qamar's kingdom and started roaming around the palace. Queen Badr al-Budur noticed this beggar roaming around the palace. How does a beggar look like? Yes. Yes. So she went to the beggar and invited the beggar to come inside. But something wasn't adding up with this beggar, so as she invited the beggar to take a shower, to have a bath, she searched in the beggar's clothes and she found the portrait. So she got the beggar arrested and questioned him. How come you have my portrait? The beggar, after some time, said everything. So she decided that she had to go save her husband. She dressed as a merchant and went to the city of Isfahan. When she got in front of Murjana, she played against Murjana. What Murjana didn't know was that Badr al-Budur was herself a grandmaster. So Murjana, being used to all these merchants who come thinking that they're better than her, did a few mistakes in her game. And Badr al-Budur won. The king of Isfahan came like crazy. Who defeated Murjana? He looked at this young merchant and kind of fell in love with him. And this young merchant was like, you know, I can play against you, and if you win, I'll stay here with you. Yes, I'll play you, but if you lose, I would like you to liberate all the prisoners and give me their merchandise. Badr al-Budur played against the king of Isfahan, and it was very easy to defeat him. Everyone was liberated. Badr al-Budur asked them to follow her to her kingdom, where she gave all the merchants back their merchandise. And she was still dressed as a merchant. She entered her palace, and right behind her, there was young King Qamar. He came inside and was completely... He thought his wife married someone else. So again, he started crying. Until she showed up, and she was like, what's happening? Why are you crying? He told her, you left me. You married this very handsome young man who kind of looks like you. So she told him that it was her all along. And he was very happy and grateful that she had saved him. And they lived kind of happily ever.